And good morning. I'm not going to keep you long, as I said. 5 minutes to tell you what we're going to do today. This is not a planned live online class. We'll have very few of those. Okay, so I'll just tell you what's the plan for today. Then you'll go on to have a look at the online materials on your own. Okay. During our other meetings, although lasting for a short while, I think you will have a chance to ask me questions. Today though, I guess perhaps you don't have many questions because we haven't covered much new complex material yet. Okay, our yesterday's class was simply some introduction to what we're going to do this semester. Okay, but still, if you have any questions, feel free to ask your questions. I'm always open to any of your questions, whether it's about the new material or anything else related to studying or some sort of future career, any sort of questions like that. Okay, so the beginning of this semester, we're going to start with capital budgeting. If you remember, that was actually the last chapter. Let me check if I'm recording. Looks like I am. So capital budgeting was actually the last chapter of Financial Management 1 last semester. So to kind of help you to transition smoothly from Financial Management 1 to Financial Management 2 after a bit of a winter break. I'm sure you all guys had a good time during the winter break. Let's start with a bit of a review of the last chapter and then we'll move on to the new material. Okay, so the beginning probably will be kind of easy. You already covered this before the winter break. So a couple of weeks we'll spend, I think it's 3 weeks we'll spend on capital budgeting because that's a pretty big chapter. Okay, today specifically you'll learn a little about capital budgeting concepts, the theory in general, what it is, right? How it works. Basically, capital budgeting is a form of investment, right? Particular form of investment where we don't look at investing into financial assets, right? In finance department, we talk a lot about financial investments, bonds and stocks. Capital budgeting is not that. Capital budgeting is investing into long-term businesses, building a new factory, expanding your business, or launching a new business line. Okay, so that's capital budgeting. Another feature of capital budgeting is that it's large scale, such as a new factory, new line of business, and long-term, meaning that these investment decisions are usually sort of strategic decisions which are difficult to change your mind about, right? Once you start building that $300 million factory, you can't easily change your mind. You've already done a lot of work on that and undertaken a lot of costs. So that's the general idea. You'll have a look at more details when you have time, right? And within capital budgeting, the main idea that is more relevant for you for the exam, okay, is how do we decide whether this investment idea, whether this capital budgeting idea is a good idea or not, okay? That's the most kind of important question that might be helpful for you on the tests, on the exams. And there are different ways of answering this question, okay? Whether we calculate NPV, there are some rules on how do we decide whether what NPV is showing us tells us that the investment is a good idea or not. Or we calculate other criteria such as a payback period, profitability index, internal rate of return, and others. So each of those have their own rules on how to decide whether this long-term strategic investment idea is acceptable or not. Okay. So after a bit of an introduction like that, you'll move on to the first criteria, the NPV. That'll be enough for today. And next week and over the next 2 weeks, you'll cover other criterias. There'll be a lot of different formulas. But if you don't want to take notes, I guess that's okay because all of your tests will be online. I will not be able to police you, which means I will not be able to check, monitor. Are you looking at your notes? Are you looking at the textbooks? Are you searching for your answers online? Are you searching for formulas for NPV online? So I will not be able to do that, which means I just have to allow you to use whatever materials you can find online or elsewhere. Okay, So whether you take notes or not, it's your choice. During the exam time, you'll be able to access any materials you want, but there will be quite a few formulas, okay, throughout the semester, even throughout these 3 weeks as we cover capital budgeting, okay. So yeah, maybe taking notes is not a bad idea, but all the materials that you need will be on Moodle, okay. So talking about Moodle, let me switch there. Are you guys looking at Moodle?
Yes, Professor.
Right. So this is our basically plan for today. That was another recommendation from the MOE to make the learning objectives for every class a little bit more clear. Right. So I'll try to remember to post our learning objectives every week. This is your video explanation. In addition to the video, you can read more details in this PDF file. Okay, today we only cover 1/3 of this file. And lastly, I hope you have time to review the materials, video as well as PDF, sometime over the next several hours, because you still have this test to take. It's very easy. There are only 5 questions in this test. Around 3 questions multiple choice about theory in general, and perhaps a couple of questions to calculate NPV. Very, very easy. So you'll have until 2 p.m. today, right? Several hours, I think it should be more than enough. So that is the plan. Stop presenting. Questions? Anything you want to comment, add? For this time, I guess, I don't know, I don't expect many questions because we haven't covered any material, any seriously difficult material yet. But for next week, okay, when you are reviewing the material today and when you're looking at the test questions today, if you have any questions, write them down for next week, because again, it'll be nice if we have a bit more interaction, okay? So that'll be really good if you do come up with some questions. Dana, let's have your video. Thank you. Right, okay. So that's all I have for you guys live, but you have more materials to look at in your own time. Again,
Professor,
questions? Yeah?
I have a question, another question. I just want to tell everyone that I have sent a like group invitation.
I see.
Like
Invitation to
I
line
invite
group. Jenny,
someone
can you please turn on
in
the
like
video?
group.
We'll have this as a better form of interaction, right? So yes, line group for anyone.
I have invite someone, but still have someone not is not my friend, so I cannot invite them. So maybe please type
I
your
see.
ID in chat box here.
I see. Right. Okay, guys. So thank you, Jenny. Jenny is the
Yeah.
TA for this class and for my other class as well. Jenny, thank you very much for your help. I really appreciate it. So Jenny has created a line group for you guys to help each other. Again, that also promotes interaction among students, right? So that's great. MOE, Ministry of Education, I hope you are listening. Jenny is helping us a lot here. Not all of you guys are in that group, perhaps because you are not connected with through line with Jenny. Okay, so Jenny is going to type some information relating to that group over here in the chat box. Yeah, she's already done it. She's asking you guys to add her as a friend so that you can join that line group. Okay, everyone, please do that. Although Jenny, right now we don't have many students online. We only have 11 participants, including me. So I guess we only have like 10 students here.
I typed my ID in chat box, so everyone maybe can add me first, then I will invite everyone into group.
Great, thank you. Yes, yes. But there aren't many students here right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But
I have invited someone, so just
Good.
I will see.
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't
Good.
know how
So,
many
if you are
person
not
I
connected
have.
with Jenny, have a look at this line ID and join the group. Okay? Please help each other. That'll be really good. Jenny, thanks a lot.
Welcome.
Anything else we want to discuss today?
Do we need to check attendance today?
Okay, let's do that. I wasn't planning to do that, but okay, let's do that. So in the next 30 seconds, can you guys type your student IDs in the chat? Okay. Probably it's been 15 seconds. While you're doing that, let me double check if I'm recording. Looks like I am recording. Okay, that's good. Andy, what's up? Yes? I see you raising
Hi,
hand.
Professor.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it means every single week we have a short meeting like this.
I don't think we'll meet every single week. Again, for those who are probably a little late, the minimum requirement from the MOE for these classes is that we meet 3 times only out of 18 weeks for a full class, a couple of hours class, okay? In addition to that, not every week, but maybe additional several weeks, we'll have extra sort of 10-15 minute meetings in order for you guys to have more chances to interact amongst yourself and ask any questions from me if you have. So perhaps not every week, but perhaps a third of the weeks, roughly. We'll see. Okay, so I am recording. Let me scroll through the chat box here again so that I can have the attendance on video. Okay, done. Anything else? Okay, good luck. So remember the test until 2 p.m. today. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Professor.
bye-bye.